Hello friends, if you're new, welcome to my channel. Why don't you go down, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes. For my returning subscribers, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you. You are the lifeblood of this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Daniel, King Nebuchadnezzar, and understanding. Let's go! So Daniel chapter 4 is written in the first person from the vantage point of King Nebuchadnezzar. And he has another dream and it frightens him. So he sends for the magicians and they cannot interpret it. And then he sends for Daniel. And Daniel, for some reason, is scared of the prophecy. So the dream was about a very large tree that was cut down but was left with a stump and with roots. And Daniel basically tells the king, look, God's going to make you pretty much one of the animals. You will live like a beast until you recognize that the Lord is sovereign over all and he can give kingdoms to whom he pleases, and the stump and the roots intact represent that your kingdom will still be here when you return. Chapters 1 through 4 were originally independent stories that were woven together to narrate how King Nebuchadnezzar transformed from a king who considered himself to be great to one who humbly recognized that this greatness came from God. Chapter 5, which I will cover later, pits a redeemed King Nebuchadnezzar against what the author describes as his weak, arrogant son Belshazzar. In chapter 6, we see a repeating theme of the supremacy of the Jewish God, this time with Darius, king of the Medes. Evidence suggests that at one point, chapters 4 through 6 existed as a collection, only later to be worked into the Daniel cycle by a skillful redactor. The skill of this redactor can be seen by comparing extant manuscripts. The OG version has the same basic plot, but the framing, details, and themes are different. Scholars debate whether the OG or the MT better preserves the original story. The consensus seems to be that the OG and MT developed independently. We also have clues to the prehistory of the text in ancient Mesopotamian documents relating to Nabonidus, the last Babylonian king. Scholars posit, based on these documents, that a story told about Nabonidus is reconfigured in the Daniel cycle to be about Nebuchadnezzar. How do we come to this conclusion? We know that Belshazzar was the son of Nabonidus, not Nebuchadnezzar. Additionally, Nabonidus was absent from Babylon for 10 years. He also had an intense interest in revelatory dreams. This interest set him apart from all other Neo-Babylonian kings because he alone put stock in revelatory dreams. However, the most significant find that backs this history happened in 1956 in Harran of northern Mesopotamia, known as the Harran Inscriptions. They were made by Nabonidus and his mother Adad goodbye. One inscription, Harran II, closely resembles Daniel 4, that is in the MT. When the prayer of Nabonidus was found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, it confirmed that the Jews told stories of Nabonidus. It tells, in first-person fashion, though not by Nabonidus, how the king suffered serious illness for 7 years, unsuccessfully petitioning for relief from the gods. But according to tradition, the Most High God healed him, although a Jewish exorcist had to tell him. Then he prayed to this God and wrote an account of the healing. Even though this has similarities to Daniel 4, enough differences exist that we cannot identify either one as being the source of the other. So, why did the Jews write stories about Nabonidus, and how did some of these get transferred to Nebuchadnezzar? First, we need to get some history. Nabonidus ruled from 556 to 539, at which time he was captured by Cyrus II of Persia. He ascended the throne due to a coup probably led by his son Belshazzar. He favored the supremacy of the moon god Sin, which soon led to conflict with Marduk's priests. Marduk was the dynastic god of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. We don't know why he left Babylon, but the Harran Inscriptions suggest that he was having conflict with the people of Babylon. One effect of this absence was that the annual New Year's festival of Akitu could not take place, which aggravated the bad blood with the priests of Marduk. This led to said priests to compose propaganda for Cyrus. Nabonidus returned to Babylon in 543 BCE, attributing this to the will of Sin, the moon god. However, realistically, his return was probably triggered by the Persian military threat. But why would the Jews compose stories in which the king recognizes the supremacy of their god? We can only speculate, but it is probable that the Jewish community may have been torn between supporting Nabonidus and those welcoming Cyrus, just like the Babylonians. The Jews had a prophet they called 2nd Isaiah, who argued that Yahweh chose Cyrus to rebuild the temple and Jerusalem. From this 2nd Isaiah, we can infer that some of the exiles did not like the interpretation that God had chosen Cyrus. Thus, it could be that the stories in the genealogic cycle of Nabonidus being punished and reinstated by God served as a counter-narrative to this. The prayer of Nabonidus depicts this king as rejecting the idols of Babylon. Within these traditions, we find Nabonidus as the idealized Gentile king. While we cannot say for sure, the situation of the Jews may have been the context for developing these stories about Nabonidus. At best, Daniel 4 contains quote-unquote ghost memories of this king. The writers replaced Nabonidus with Nebuchadnezzar because Nabonidus quickly became irrelevant after his reign, while Nebuchadnezzar left psychological stars. Daniel 4 tried to rectify this. This narrative also served a more important purpose. Nebuchadnezzar became the symbol of all Gentile kings. Some details reflect Persian, not Babylonian ideology. This narrative served as a way for Jews to negotiate their relationship with their sovereign God and the earthly monarchs. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I also hope that you're seeing that Daniel has nothing to do with the end times. If you do like this content, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, and if you would like to know when I come out with new videos, press the bell next to the subscribe button. All social media links are in the description. The best way to get hold of me is through Twitter or email, or by commenting on one of my videos. Please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. Please also visit my Teespring store, link in the description. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, friends.